You want to know how fast your whole world can flip? Try standing outside your own front door, hands shaking so hard you nearly drop your phone, reading all those unanswered calls to your husband calls he's clearly ignoring while your suitcase is sitting beside you like some dumb prop in a bad breakup movie, and the air is so cold it feels like a slap. Yeah, that happened to me. Sarah Matthews. 3 years of marriage, and I'm getting locked out of my own house in the middle of suburban Chicago, neighbors pretending not to stare while their dogs do. And I'm thinking, is this really happening? Did David seriously just follow through with that threat from breakfast, pack your things and leave, or I'll kick you out because I said I wanted to quit my corporate job and do nonprofit work? Like I'm some reckless teenager, not his wife. Let me back up a sec. It all blew up over toast and eggs him ranting about how we can't just chase dreams. Me trying to explain I can't do another year in that soul-sucking office. I must have lost my regular keys a few days ago, so I'd been using the spare. Guess where that is now? On the bedroom dresser, behind the very door David just locked. So there I am, sitting on the cold concrete steps, clutching my designer purse like a life jacket, feeling every eye on the street. That perfect Instagram life, gone in a flash. People always assume you'll hold it together, right? Truth is, when it unravels, it's public, it's humiliating, and it hurts. What I didn't know then was David hadn't planned this exile as perfectly as it looked. Turns out, right after our fight, his phone rings. Crisis in Detroit, his top client melting down. He's out the door, no note, phone dead by the time he hits the airport, and by the time he thinks to charge it again, I'm already a ghost. Universe has a cruel sense of humor, you know what I mean? But I didn't know any of that yet. I just sat there, heart racing, until finally I call my grandmother, Eleanor. My rock, 82, sharper than any lawyer David's family ever hired, living in this humble little apartment downtown. Come stay with me, dear, she said, no hesitation, like she'd just been waiting for me to ask. Now, Eleanor's got this mysterious tone like she knows something big, but won't spill yet. So I drag my suitcase through an Uber ride, watching the skyline pass, feeling my life shrink and twist, losing not just my marriage, but every little bit of safety I'd built. David and I met at Northwestern, classic college romancing. The scholarship kid raised by Gran after my parents died, him the heir to old money and a real estate empire. His family never quite warmed up to me. I was always the outsider. And that prenup? Yeah, that was his parents' idea. David said it was just a formality, but it never felt that way. Now I'm sitting in traffic, crying to my coat, transferring the last couple grand from our joint account into my own. That's all I had, a sad little stand for independence. Meanwhile, David comes home to find an empty house. At first, he's mad, then he's worried. Days pass, no word. He starts calling hospitals, even files a missing person report. Police are like, "Sir, looks like she just left you." And he can't argue, but the panic's building. He's tearing apart the house, finds my favorite perfume missing, travel bag gone, the bathroom counter clear. And every little thing that's not there feels like the end of everything. He keeps calling 100 times, or more, voice breaking, begging me to come home, just to be safe. He can't sleep, barely eats, scrolling through old texts and photos, trying to figure out what he missed. His parents? They're another story. Over steak at their Gold Coast penthouse, his mom tells him, "She was never right for you. This is your chance." Already shopping him around to some suitable socialite Caroline Westfield, who's suddenly just back from Paris. David's staring at them, seeing all those little digs and cold shoulders for what they are. And for the first time, he pushes back. "Sarah is my world," he says, gets up and leaves. Driving home, he finally admits what he never wanted to see, how his family's judgment, all their cold little comments, slowly drove a wedge right through us. He starts searching for McCafes, bookstores, park stocks to strangers, hands out flyers, pins maps on the living room wall, anything to get me back. And across the city, I'm at Eleanor's, sitting in a lawyer's office, signing papers I barely understand. Turns out, Gran's been running a secret empire, real estate, tech companies, art collections, all under the radar. Suddenly, I'm one of the wealthiest women in America. You can't make this up. I look out the window, see the city, and for a second, I just want to laugh at the insanity locked out of my house. now owning half the skyline. What would David think? But first, I have to face him. Lawyers offer to send a team to collect my stuff. I say no. I need to do it myself. For 2 weeks, I've been grieving. Not just David, but Eleanor too. She passed away quietly. Cancer she never told me about the day after I moved in. Arranging her funeral alone, while thinking my marriage is over, that's a kind of lonely you never get used to. So, one rainy afternoon, I drive back to our house, heart pounding, rehearsing 100 conversations in my head. But before I even knock, the door swings open. David, looking nothing like the man I left. Rumpled, stubbly, hollow-eyed, not the polished executive, but someone who's been through hell. He pulls me into a hug before I can say a word, nearly sobbing, telling me he's been searching, calling hospitals, filing police reports. I never kicked you out, he says. I got called away for work. My phone died. I've been out of my mind with worry. I'm frozen. Everything I believe these last 2 weeks is falling apart. He leads me to the living room. Maps, lists, missing person flyers everywhere. I sit on the couch, staring, while he kneels in front of me, saying he was angry but never meant for any of this. He's been looking for me every day, desperate, and suddenly I feel foolish for ever thinking I was disposable. But the hurt's still real. Your family, I whisper, they never wanted me. I felt like an outsider in my own life. David nods, eyes full of regret, admits he let their opinions get in between us. I love you, Sarah, he says, voice shaking. I want you back. Please. But everything's changed. Eleanor's gone, and now this inheritance hanging over me. I tell David I need time. I'm staying at Gran's for now, and he understands, asks if we can have dinner, try to fix things. And for the first time, I feel a little hope, like maybe this isn't the end. Back at Eleanor Snow, my apartment, I sit surrounded by legal docs, art, reminders of a life I never knew she had. The advisors want me to act fast, take control of everything, but all I can think about is David's face as I left, lost, but still full of love. I decide to give us a real shot, to see if we can rebuild without money messing it up. Trust, but verify, Gran always said. So that's what I do. For 3 months, David and I take it slow: coffee, dinners, walks by the lake. No talk of money, no family interference. He pulls away from his parents' business, starts his own company, affordable housing, not condos for the rich. Says he wants to build something that matters. And for the first time, I believe him. I start running the foundation, investing in education and cancer research, channeling Eleanor's spirit. We're different people now, stronger, clearer about what we want. He silences his mom's calls, stands up for me in public, and every time my trust grows a little. 6 months go by. I finally bring David to see the real scope of my new life. Penthouse apartment, priceless art, the whole 9 yards. I tell him everything about the inheritance, the foundation, why I kept it secret. He just sits there, stunned, then laughs this deep, genuine laugh, says, none of that changes how I feel. Rich or poor, you're the one I love. And you know what? In that moment, I believe him. After everything, secrets, heartbreak, lost keys, and lost years, we found our way back, not to the life we had, but to something new, something real. But here's the kicker: my phone starts blowing up, and guess who it is? David's family. Now they want to talk, to apologize, suddenly remembering how much they always loved me. I look at David, and we just shake our heads. Yeah, that's family for you. So now I'm asking you, what would you do? If you were locked out by the people you trusted most, but ended up unlocking a future bigger than you ever imagined, would you forgive? Would you trust again? Or would you walk away for good? Let me know. I want to hear what you think about love, money, and second chances, because sometimes the real story starts after the front door slams shut.